Imagine this. The Roman Empire, the most powerful civilization on Earth, was terrified of one man. Not an emperor, not a king, but a warrior who, according to legend, possessed the sword of the god of war himself. His name was Attila, and people believed, as long as that sword remained in his hands, he could never be defeated. When the Huns appeared on the horizon, cities surrendered without a fight. Mothers hid their children, and Roman soldiers prayed to survive the night, because wherever the Huns rode, fire followed. Today, you are about to hear the terrifying story of Attila, the man they called the Scourge of God, the ruler who nearly destroyed Rome, and who may have become unstoppable because of a cursed sword from the gods. But the most horrifying part is that it all ended with betrayal on his wedding night. As a child, Attila was taken by the Romans. He was held as a hostage. At the time, this was common practice. Rome took the children of barbarian rulers to control entire tribes. And there, young Attila saw the true power of the empire for the first time. Massive cities, marble temples, armies that seemed endless, gold everywhere, luxury beyond imagination. But instead of fear, something else was born inside him. Hatred. He saw the way Romans looked at his people, like savages, like animals. And maybe that was the moment Attila promised himself. One day, Rome would fear him. And he kept that promise. After returning to the Huns, Attila became a warrior. Brutal, cold, merciless. He grew up surrounded by blood and war. The Huns trained from childhood. Children learned to ride horses before they could properly walk. Archery, survival, killing. Weakness meant death. And very quickly, Attila learned one thing. Fear is the strongest weapon of all. Then came the legend. One day, a shepherd supposedly found a strange sword buried deep in the steppe. According to the story, a horse injured its leg on metal hidden beneath the ground. When the sword was uncovered, it was brought to Attila, and the shamans of the Huns declared something terrifying. This was the sword of Mars, the sword of the god of war, a sign that the gods themselves had chosen Attila to rule the world. After that, stories of his invincibility spread everywhere. People believed, as long as Attila held the sword, no one could kill him. And the scariest part is, Attila himself seemed to believe it too. His army became a nightmare. The Huns moved faster than any army of their time. They attacked suddenly, burned cities, disappeared into the wilderness, and then returned again before enemies could recover. Roman soldiers feared even the sound of horse hooves in the distance, because it meant only one thing. Death was coming. Entire nations fled from the Huns. Villages were abandoned overnight, and Attila became stronger with every victory. Rome began paying him gold for peace. Imagine that. The greatest empire in the world paying tribute to a barbarian from the steppes. But it wasn't enough for Attila. He wanted more. More power. More fear. More of the world. And soon Europe was burning. Cities vanished in flames. Rivers turned red with blood. And people began calling Attila the Scourge of God, as if God himself had sent him to punish humanity. Then something happened that seemed impossible. Attila reached Rome itself. The capital of the empire trembled. People believed the end had come. Panic consumed the streets. The rich fled with whatever gold they could carry. Priests prayed day and night. Romans remembered what happened to cities that stood in the path of the Huns. Fire, death, total destruction. And now, the most feared conqueror in the world stood at the gates of Rome. But then, something strange happened. Attila turned around and left, without destroying the city, without a final battle. Historians still argue about why. Some say his army was weakened by disease and starvation. Others believe he feared a long siege. And according to legend, Pope Leo III personally met with Attila, and somehow convinced him not to destroy Rome. Some even believed Attila saw something supernatural above the city, a warning from the gods, or a sign of death. And maybe, for the first time in his life, Attila felt fear. But even the most terrifying rulers have enemies. And sometimes, the most dangerous enemies are the ones standing closest to you. After years of war, Attila decided to marry. His new wife was a young woman named Ildiko. Beautiful, quiet, calm. But according to legend, she hated him. Some stories claim the Huns murdered her family during one of their invasions, and she waited years for revenge. Then came the wedding night. The palace echoed with celebration. Wine flowed endlessly. Music filled the halls. Attila believed he was unstoppable. He had survived wars, survived Rome, survived thousands of battles. He believed no man alive could defeat him. But that night, something happened. The next morning, Attila was found dead. According to the official version, he choked on his own blood after a severe hemorrhage. But the legends tell a darker story, that Ildiko killed him in his sleep, avenging her family. And if that's true, it means something terrifying. The man armies could not defeat was defeated by one woman in a dark room. After Attila's death, the Hun Empire collapsed almost immediately. As if all its power disappeared with him. Tribes turned against each other. Rebellions exploded. Enemies attacked from every side. Some even believed the magic of the sword died alongside its owner, and the sword itself vanished without a trace. Even today, nobody knows where it is. Some treasure hunters spent their entire lives searching for it, but nobody ever found it. Maybe it was only a legend, maybe just a myth. But even after thousands of years, the name Attila still inspires fear, because history remembers him not just as a conqueror, but as the man who made Rome tremble. And maybe the scariest part of this story is that one man almost broke an entire civilization. If you want more dark stories about empires, wars, legendary rulers, and forgotten mysteries, subscribe right now. And comment below, who should I make a video about next? Because real history is more terrifying than any movie.